The journey has been long, but is far from over.
Catch made on the run!
Now it's time to put it all on the line. They've battled their way to Greenville, and the Little League Softball World Series title is in their sights.
Pitt County Little League, your World Series champs.
Welcome to the Little League Softball World Series, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Greenville, North Carolina is the site, and our third game of opening day puts two international teams head-to-head. Czechia and Canada are set to battle on the diamond in this double elimination tournament. Two different brackets, the purple bracket and the orange bracket. You're looking at the orange bracket. The winner of these two brackets will play in a championship game on Sunday. A week from today, we will crown a World Series champion on ABC. We've already had two games in the books, and how about starting off this World Series with a bang? More importantly, a Bono bomb, if you will. Addison Bono went yard in her first at bat. Florida took down Washington 9-2. And our second game of the day, Brazil and the host North Carolina team. North Carolina had to rally, and they did. They were able to run home, take the lead. They scored 3 runs in the 5th inning to come back and beat Brazil, so they stay in the winner's portion of the bracket. Let's go. Time for some more Little League softball. Courtney Lau alongside All-American Amanda Scarborough, and it is so cool, everything that these girls get to experience this week at the Little League Softball World Series.
Yeah, it is called the World Series for a reason, because we have teams from all over the world, and now these players, these girls, these young softball players will get to be friends forever with different players from all over the entire world. And I always thought it was so cool, Court, whenever I got to play teams from different states when I was growing up. Nevertheless, different countries, an amazing experience. And we have 2 international teams in this game here.
Yeah, let's introduce you to those international teams. The team from Canada, Repentigny, Quebec, is coming back for a second year. Population 8.5 million, the second largest in Canada. They speak French. They also speak English, which was very helpful for us when we talked to them. But, man, they had to come back in this regional in order to get here.
Yeah, they had a walk-off win over Alberta in the championship game to win 5-4. This team was here last year. They have 3 returners back for this season.
And the team representing Europe, Africa is Czechia. Used to be known as the Czech Republic, now internationally called Czechia. They are out of Prague, a city of 100 spires, and home to one of the world's oldest astronomical clocks. But they were excited to be here.
And this team scored a lot of runs to get here, outscored their opponents 100-3.
Ooh, let's meet the team representing Europe, Africa. The Czechia lineup starts now.
Moje jméno je Eva Hanzlová a moje oblíbená aplikace je Snapchat. Jmenuji se Emma Jelínková a můj nejoblíbenější předmět je chemie. Moje jméno je Eliška Kučerová a moje nejoblíbenější jídlo je sushi. Moje jméno je Veronika Švecová a moje oblíbené jídlo je kachna. Moje jméno je Barbara Svobodová, moje číslo je 13 a moje oblíbená aplikace je Instagram.
Moje jméno je Daniela Pendlová a moje oblíbená zpěvačka je Olivia Rodrigo.
Moje jméno je Tereza Friedlová a můj nejoblíbenější atlet je Reese Atwood.
Moje jméno je Kateřina Košenová a můj oblíbený herec je Emma Watson.
Moje jméno je Emma Nikodýmová a můj oblíbený tým je LA Dodgers. Moje jméno je Aneta Novotná a můj nejoblíbenější atlet je Simon Bayersová.
My name is Jofra Darbanová a můj oblíbený sportovec je Stamilecká.
Moje jméno je Sofie Šafrová a moje nejoblíbenější celebrita je Jenna Ortega.
Team Europe Africa is from Czechia, the second World Series appearance for a team from Prague Little League. That was back in 2014. So the pitcher they're going to face first, Ariel Prescott for Team Canada.
And Ariel Prescott has been working really hard in the offseason. They have a lot of confidence in her. A tall pitcher who has grown a lot, pitching-wise, developed a lot in the past year.
And Amanda, her favorite team? The Volts.
The AUSL Volts.
The champs. Very cool to see. And so Tereza Fridlova will step in first for Team Czechia. her favorite book, Nothing Like the Movies. 12 years old. Remember, all of these girls that you'll see playing this week cannot have turned 13 before January 1st.
It always feels good to get that first strike out of the way.
You think there's a little nerve stepping onto this field for the first time?
So many nerves, especially when you're the first pitcher that runs out to the circle to throw the first pitch of the game. That's when you might feel the most nervous. But this is a pitcher out here who they call the sniper, and Ariel Prescott, because she is so good. Every pitch hits its target. She is precise. She is reliable, and also voted by her teammates most likely to go pro.
It's the visor for me. Fredlova reaching for the ball. Aslane trying to make the play at third. Gave it a good hustle, but Teresa Fredlova is going to reach, and so Czechia has a runner on. Now remember, in Little League, they use a continuous batting order, so everybody's in the batting order. Not 1 through 9, but 1 through 12 for this Czechia team. Emma Jelinkova steps up now, the second baseman, number 9 for Europe, Africa, and over to second base goes Fredlova. Dream job for Emma is to play professional softball. Right now, she's just worried about getting that runner on second home, who just stole a base. Fredlova at second.
I was reading about Emma as well, that she's probably the best skier on the team. That's not something that you read a lot of these questionnaires. You get to learn so much about different regions and hobbies and things they like to do.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite parts, is that every player you see playing fills out a questionnaire, and we get all kinds of things, as that will retire Jelinkova for the first out of this inning. You get all kinds of information about these ladies.
Went fishing here and got called out on strikes for going on that one, chasing a pitch a little bit out of the zone.
Katerina Kosanova. Talking to this Czechia team, kind of they were surprised to kind of be here, because they had to go through an Italy team where softball is just so prevalent.
And it's so different for their region because baseball is so prevalent. Softball, not as much, but Italy has really thrived, and we've seen them here year after year, and kind of the reigning champs of the region. It's a big deal to beat them to get here.
They had to play in Poland, is where they played their regional. They went 7-0 in that regional. In pool play, they outscored opponents 95-0, and then in the championship defeated that Italian team 5-3. We've got some teams debuting in the Little League Softball World Series. First time for Team Japan, who we'll see tomorrow for the first time. We just saw Brazil. 3-2.
Brazil looked really good. I've not seen them here, but they were beating the reigning champs for almost the entire game until that 5th inning when North Carolina made the comeback.
Ball. Kosanova will be issued the free pass from Prescott. So 2 aboard for Daniela Pentlova, the right fielder. Pentlova's favorite food, steak and potato salad. And they're going to switch out the player who is coaching at first base right now because Aneta Novotna, who was there, has got to get ready to bat possibly in a couple of hitters.
And Prescott's having to face a lot of left-handed hitters in this Czechia lineup. Sometimes that, can be tough for a young pitcher because you're so used to seeing right-handed batters going up against you. A lefty can throw you off a little bit. is really being challenged, but you can tell these pitches that are a little bit more down the zone, she's having a lot of success with. She just did so well in the Canada Regional. Went 3-0 through 15 innings, only gave up 2 earned runs. You know, that feels good for Prescott to get another strikeout. And a similar pitch of her first strikeout, a pitch that's away from these left-handed hitters and just diving down. She gets the chase from Pendlova for the second out.
They told us that Ariel can go beast mode. She's their #1 pitcher. They've relied on her, but nothing stops her when she's on the field. They've seen her make really good adjustments.
And you see that pink and white necklace. That is a superstition thing. She will not pitch without that pink, white, and black game necklace. She wears that for a little bit of luck. You see her initial on her other necklace as well. But I'm telling you right now, that necklace right there, I want a piece of that, Court.
Yeah.
It has my name written all over it.
Really pretty. So Pendlova is going to run at first base now because Katerina Kosanova, who is the pitcher, is there, and they can use a courtesy runner in Little League for the pitcher or the catcher when there are 2 outs. So they will do that here. It's the last recorded out, which would be Pendlova, who just struck out. Sophie Safrova is at the plate now with 2 on, trying to extend this fast start for Team Czechia. Her favorite celebrity, Jenna Ortega, who plays Wednesday in the Netflix series.
Ball.
Runner going to third, safely reaches both runners in scoring position. Adele Dostalar behind the plate tried to get the ball over there to third in time.
Dostalar, one of those players that's returning from last season, her dad being the manager of this Canada team. Great player.
3 returning players were here last year for Team Canada.
And you know that those 3 players returning just kind of make everybody else here feel at ease. They can talk to their teammates about what happens here, about the games, about meeting other teams, where you sleep, what you eat, all those things that make you feel more comfortable.
Because it's a lot to take in, right?
It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to travel and go out of the country, maybe a lot of times for the first time for many of these players. And you're so excited about being on TV, about all the friends that you're going to make, about just the excitement, celebration of making it here to the Little League Softball World Series.
2-2 to Safrova. Right back at the pitcher, up the middle. And making the throw in time is Mahika Larive at shortstop. So Team Canada gets out of it. We'll see their bats in just a moment. Canada's grabbing the bats. Let's meet their lineup here for the second straight year.
Mon nom est Mahika Larive et mon athlète préféré est Stephen Curry. Mon nom est Naomi Trépanier et mon chanteur préféré est Bruno Mars.
Mon nom est Eva Asselin et ma nourriture préférée est le Pokéball. Mon nom est Adèle de Salaire et mon acteur préféré est Adam Sandler. Je m'appelle Amy Chagnon et mon athlète préféré est Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Je m'appelle Charlie Verville et ma chanteuse préférée c'est Adèle. Je m'appelle Alicia Dupont, mon repas préféré est le spaghetti. Mon nom est Ariel Prescott et mon équipe préférée de survol est les Volts. Mon nom c'est Romy Trépanier. Ma préférée équipe c'est les Red Sox de Boston. Mon nom est Estelle Dionne et mon repas préféré est la poutine. Mon nom est Elisabeth Lamarche et mon acteur préféré est Gavin Cavalegno. Je m'appelle Juliana Perez et mon chanteur préféré c'est Kendrick Lamar.
That is the team from Rapatani, Quebec, representing Canada on field LLS Little League. Second straight appearance for them, looking for their first win in this tournament if they can get it here. And in the circle is going to be the top pitcher for Czechia, Katerina Kosanova.
She looks up to Tegan Kavan, who we saw win a national championship at the Women's College World Series, a pitcher for the University of Texas. And Kosanova is the main pitcher for this Czechia team, and very calm when she's in the circle, able to just be strictly focused on the game.
And she starts out looking at this Canada batting order. Remember, everybody is in the batting order, so it's 1 through 12 for Team Canada. And Mahika Larive, who just made that throw at shortstop to get out of the last inning, is first up for Canada at the top of the order. Here's the lineup for Canada.
Let's go.
That is the manager, Eric Dostelar. And he told us, after last year, they learned a lot coming here and spent the whole offseason focusing on a few takeaways from last year's experience. One of them being pitching.
Yeah, it's a huge focus for them in the offseason. Defense and pitching, something that they worked on in the fall, the winter, the spring. He said because the name of the game is pitching. Well, that's why, we got your pitchers like me, Michelle, and Danielle call these games with you, and there's a little, rivalry between Jessica Mendoza and Jenny Dalton Hill, but the game starts in the circle court and doesn't. Even when you're from a different country, you quickly realize that and play to that, knowing how important it is.
There's a huge smile on Amanda's face right now. Eric, the manager for Canada, he told us, look at last year's championship game. North Carolina, who's back here again, they won 1-0. He said this is about the pitching, so we've got to work on that. And right now they've got to work on going against this pitcher from Czechia, Katerina Kosanova. 2-2. Up into the glove of Jelinkova at second. Still a nice at bat for Canada to start at the top of the order from La Rive.
Saw a lot of pitches, a 7-pitch AB to start out this game.
Now the second baseman, Imi Chagnon. Her dad is one of the assistants, Jason. Also plays volleyball. Takes the first pitch over to the third, and Teresa Friedlova cleans it up for out number 2.
Now batting, number 6.
What kind of defense that you like to see from your team early in this game? Again, we talked about the nerves that you might feel in the circle, but Friedlova playing the hot corner, making that long throw exactly where she needed to be, wasn't phased at all with that ground ball that got on her in a hurry.
The pitcher, Katerina Kosanova, should feel comfortable here. This is just her 9th pitch, and they've already recorded 2 outs in this inning. Adele Dostelar, the daughter of the manager, Eric, is up now in 3 spot. Her favorite athlete is Shohei Ohtani.
Look at she went up there swinging to court. She's one of the returning players, and last year she went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in the World Series last year. And that stays in the back of your mind. You're hoping that your team gets to have a chance to come back here so that you have a chance to get back here and redeem yourself and play in front of your fans and for your country. That first swing of the at-bat, she meant business.
Beautiful swing from Dostelar. Making up for last year. That's got to feel great for Adele. She is on in her first at-bat of the World Series.
She was on a mission in that at-bat. This is her second time here, just here last summer, and they call her the machine. She is always consistent, always ready to surpass herself and surpass what she did last year already with 3 strikeouts last year, but getting her first hit here already now.
So with 2 down, there's a runner on. Estelle Dion will come to the plate. Dostelar now recorded a hit in 10 of her last 13 at-bats. Dostelar is the catcher, so they can use a courtesy runner here with 2 outs. And it will be Imi Chagnon, who was the last out recorded. She'll come in to be that courtesy runner. Estelle Dion steps in. She's 5'7", age 12, playing first base today. There goes Dostelar. safely in the scoring position. Oh, excuse me. Shun Yang, who is the courtesy runner, safely in the scoring position.
Pitchers and catchers get to take a little easy. You get a runner for you with the courtesy runner. You get to go and sit in the dugout, cool off a little bit.
Well, for Estelle Dion, Amanda, her sister got to go play in the World Series in Kirkland, Washington in the Junior League. So their family's been busy.
Very busy and all over the country.
Yeah.
From the East Coast to the West Coast in Seattle.
Hopper back to the pitcher. Out number 3. So Canada will leave a runner in scoring position. Both teams with opportunities in the first inning. We got a scoreless ball game. 12 teams make up the field for this year's Little League Softball World Series. And Amanda mentioned it, from all over the world. Check out on the right side of your screen, Czechia. Over 4,000 miles traveled to make it here to Greenville, North Carolina. A cumulative total of over 24,000 miles for these 12 teams. And I loved looking at the questionnaires because a lot of the girls put they were so excited to meet players from all over the world and learn about their culture, their customs, what they think about softball. It's so neat.
I laughed about this in the Southwest Regional in Waco, but I remember going to just a national tournament whenever I was younger and getting to meet teams from different states. And I'm from Texas, so the number one question I get asked is, do you ride a horse to school? So just being able to, yes, for real, that was a real question at nationals. So it's just so fun to actually get to know these different players and their families and really what it's like to live where they're from. The answer is no, in case you were wondering.
Okay, well that was my follow-up question.
To school.
Aneta Novotná is up, the shortstop for Czechia. They left a couple in scoring position, but had a really solid start to this game in the first inning. At pitch sales on Ariel Prescott of Canada in the circle. And it's... Oh, and Ariel's taken off the cool visor.
Yeah.
It's not as sunny.
You can see her eyes now through that mask. I thought she looked a little different when she was throwing her warm-up pitches.
She had 2 strikeouts in that first inning. And issues ball 4, second walk issued by Canada. You know, this is also a chance for us to learn about these teams, where they train. And this is Prague Little League's complex. How impressive. This looks amazing.
Yeah, trying to get softball up and running in their community. They have 5 fields, 2 baseball fields, and 3 softball fields. So beautiful facilities that they have.
That bunt laid down by Barbara Svobodova rolls foul.
A lot of these Czechia players, they start with baseball, and some still actually play baseball as their main sport, and then they eventually switch over to softball. And oftentimes, baseball is so popular that they start playing baseball first and then play softball later.
You know, they don't really have travel softball teams. They practice with their home teams, those teams in their communities. That's how they train. And 2, they watch a lot of MLB games and videos on social media. They'll get to see some of the softball games played here in the States on delay whenever they show up on YouTube or online.
Trying just to find different ways to learn. And I have a feeling that as we go on the next 5-10 years, softball will become more and more popular for Czechia and just other countries. It is just booming right now at every level.
Arife at short. Not going to get the throw there in time. And I think the ball went in the dugout or off of the playing surface. So they're going to stop the runners at 3rd and 2nd. A
couple of unfortunate mistakes by Canada with Some free passes, so the error there by Larive that gets just past Dion. But what I love to see is the hustle from Ariel Prescott to be able to get back behind home plate and back up the potential throw that would be coming home. Oftentimes you see a pitcher this age court, they just sit and become a spectator.
Ball. Oh, runners coming home as the ball gets away, and Czechia is going to score first. Dostelar behind the plate was trying to corral it, but it rolled on her, and that's going to allow Czechia to score first. Scoring on the wild pitch.
It looked like Dostelar was setting up a little bit more on the outside corner, and that was more of an inside pitch. Just got past her. This Canada team, they wanted to work on their defense and their pitching, and so far those that have reached for Czechia have been via errors and base on balls, so free passes.
So Aneta Novotna was able to score on the wild pitch. Zofia Darbernova at the plate, the catcher. She's got a runner at third right now.
And they won that European African qualifier. Their head coach said, I've never seen so many tears of joy from a player as what we saw from the catcher there, who goes down swinging. Big strikeout for Prescott.
Yeah, that's going to be her third today.
That's this nice little down movement to all of her pitches. It just falls off the table, able to throw that one through the zone, get a big strikeout with the runner at third base.
Zoboldova is at third base for Emma Nikodimova, who swings at the first pitch she gets from Prescott.
Now notice, I feel like it's tough for these Czechia hitters to pick up the ball out of the hand of Prescott, because when she strides out, she kind of steps across her body, so steps towards what would be a right-handed hitter. It doesn't step straight, so I feel like they kind of lose the ball. It kind of hides the ball from her release, whether you're a left-handed hitter or a right-handed hitter. Has a tendency to hide that release with how she pushes off of the mound.
I say Nikodimova did go.
This is what I'm talking about with, this is what it looks like if you're in the box against her. Steps across her body, so we're kind of at an angle there behind the left-handed batter's box, but you can really tell there it's another strikeout.
Yeah, back-to-back strikeouts for Prescott. 4 today.
3 of her strikeouts have come with runners on base. She's the type of pitcher that you can tell just steps up for clutch strikeouts when her team needs her the most, taking the game into her own hands. 4th strikeout of the day for Prescott.
Veronika Shvetsova. Can she extend this Czechia lead? They took the lead earlier in this inning on a wild pitch.
Pumping strikes now, getting comfortable, finding that release, the rhythm, throwing with good velocity too. And she's having to face a lot of left-handed hitters. I feel like this is maybe the most left-handed dominant team that we've ever seen here. 7 of the 12 hitters are left-handed.
I know, isn't that crazy? I thought I misread that when I was putting it on my chart. I can think of some college teams that would love that.
Yeah.
One gets away. Wild pitch, bringing home another run. Svobodova scoring. Both runs in this inning scored on a wild pitch. Ball and 2 strikes to Zetsova. And look at that. 1, 2, 3 strikeouts in a row for Ariel Prescott. She's got 5 Ks today. Little League Softball World Series on ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. Welcome back to the Little League Softball World Series presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Oh my goodness. Amanda is waving to you. Little fur friend, ice cream, puppies, we've got it all. Cute kids. Little League Softball World Series is back here in Greenville, North Carolina for the 5th year. Came over in 2021. Used to play out in Portland, Oregon, but this has been a beautiful new home for the World Series the last 5 years. Romy Trepanier. First pitch, she hits to the shortstop trying to beat it out, and she does. She'll be safe.
Talked about the World Series being here. We were in Portland, Oregon for forever, and I noticed before the game today that so many young boys were around the ballpark, because that'll go down as an error, Novotna. But it's so cool to see so many young baseball players at the Softball World Series. I feel like I saw more little boys, young baseball players running around and just kind of checking everything out, maybe supporting their friends or their sisters, or maybe they just wanted to come and check it out for the first time. But that was definitely something that caught my eye before the game. All the young baseball players and boys showing up at the softball field.
We've had some great crowds today already. This is the third game of the day. Ariel Prescott, the pitcher, is up with a runner on via an error. Czechia was able to take the lead in the last inning, scoring 2 runs on wild pitches.
And Canada had to really battle to get back here. It would have been really easy for them in their Canada regional to get down and think, oh, we're not going to be able to make it to the World Series again, because they lost their first game over Alberta 11-1. They got run rolled. Able to come back through a couple of no-hitters and outscore their opponents 38-16. Got 10 or more hits in the last 3 of their 5 games.
Ariel Prescott just slapping that softball. Not a true slap hit. And I love her little celebration on first base. So an error and a hit have 2 on for Canada.
Just getting on top of that pitch that's up in the zone. Her barrel stays above the ball, just slaps it like you see from a left-handed slapper, but she's right-handed, slaps it right into the ground on the left side. And look at Canada trying to respond after giving up those 2 runs.
Yeah, the tying run at first base now. Prescott over there, by the way, who does love watching NCAA softball, so maybe she's picked up a thing or 2 watching the college athletes. Charlie Varville up at the plate.
One of the things that their manager from Canada, Coach Dostelaar, told us is that first game in the regional, it was really about stress management. That was so difficult for them. It was just a new environment. The team from Alberta, they just looked strong and fierce and intimidated the Canadian team a little bit, so they ended up losing to them, but beating them in the championship game.
Runner going to third, safely slides in. Trepanier is safe. Remember, you have to slide feet first in Little League unless you're retreating back to a base. 2 in scoring position for Canada.
Good base running. Trepanier to be able to take that back, put pressure on the Czechia defense to make a throw. As soon as she saw that ball down, she was off.
So 2 more stolen bases there. Varville sends a run home. Canada has cut this lead in half. Charlie Varville.
Novotna just got the ball and she just wasn't sure what she wanted to do with it. Am I going to go home? Am I going to go to third? No communication from the catcher there. I think she actually had a play at home, but she didn't make the throw. And then when she went to third, there was no force play, and she did not make the tag. She just stepped on the base, and Canada cuts the lead in half.
So Varville reaches on the fielder's choice, does get that RBI. Eva Asselin, third baseman up. Runners on the corners now. Tying run at third. There goes Varville to second. Won't try to catch her.
It's that stress management piece that they mentioned in the regional that I'm sure is playing a part here, getting down Czechia, playing their first game of the Little League Softball World Series this year, and just dealing with nerves and all kinds of different feelings of being here. So this is what you want to see out of your team, a response like this to be able to at least answer one back, but you want more with no outs and 2 runners in scoring position.
Wants to meet Sam Landry. A similar spec game there.
The clear glasses.
The glasses, yeah.
I've seen more young girls wear clear glasses like the one and only Sam Landry. There's her mom also wearing some glasses. The black frames, though, which, yeah, Sam Landry wears the clear ones on game day. But off the field, I think she wears the black ones.
Lane's going to come back. She's hitting the box. Yeah, Sam Landry, her favorite athlete. Got a chance here to tie this game or take the lead. Tying run at third, go ahead run at second.
I will say, too, there's been a difference in the Canada dugout this inning. They've been a little bit louder, and a little bit more rowdy in that dugout. I remember playing these games, and you have such a chance to make an impact on your own teammate who's in the box. Cheer loud for her. Get to the opponent's head a little bit, saying we've got energy, like we're going to come back. We're fighting as a team. Really makes an impact.
Lane will take a seat, but that's just the first out of this inning. So Canada with some more chances here to bring these runners home.
Kashinova being able to just paint the outside corner and get that swing and miss.
It's Katsanova's first strikeout tonight. Alicia Dupont. I mean, a fantastic walk-up song. Who let the dogs out? Did we ever find out who did let them out?
We're still trying to figure it out.
She also told us her favorite song, though, is Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. So 2 solid choices.
I wonder if she'd listen to that one on her way over here.
Very fitting, right?
That's very fitting.
2 on, Alicia Dupont. Sanova over her head, drops down in the dirt, tie game. And Dupont finds herself at second.
Dupont kind of gave herself an edge with that hit. You could tell she was looking for an inside pitch because she started to open up her front side a little bit to be able to get her barrel to that pitch and just drive it right back up the middle of the field. And Dupont from the 9-hole ties up this game. Canada with their loud dugout, their togetherness, their returning players probably leading the way, able to tie it at 2.
Still 2 outs with work to work with. Nelia Perez likes the first pitch, tries to get over it. Fridlova coming home. And Darbernova, the catcher, makes the tag to retire Charlie Varville.
Yeah, that was just a perfect throw home from Fridlova. Exactly where she wants to put that throw to make an easy tag for her catcher.
Here's Naomi Trepanier. Runners on the corners. That ball's going to get away. Canada is going to take the lead. What a response from Canada after going down 2-0. Here they are scoring 3 runs in the second.
I'm telling you, their dugout felt like it had a surge of energy to put pressure on this team. That leadoff error where Trepanier was able to get on.
This is Naomi Trepanier, whose dream job is to be a PE teacher. She's got Nelia Perez at second.
Inside pitches are just coming hard at her on the inner half. You see her backing away a little bit. Koshinova throws with good speed.
She has the best velo on this Czechia team.
That's a good looking swing right there. You see that her teammates love it too. I'm telling you, where it just takes one leader in that dugout to start a fire in terms of the energy and the response, and then one person does it, then another person catches on, then another person catches on, and their dugout has absolutely been the difference maker in this inning.
Naomi Trepanier. Jelenkova makes the play at second, but look at Team Canada. 3 runs in this inning, and guess what? Canada has the lead. Look, it's a big event. You need a big bracket. Florida was the first to get to put their name on that big bracket earlier today, representing the Southeast region. We're in the orange bracket portion. There's orange and purple brackets. The winner of those 2 brackets will face off in our championship a week from today on ABC at 3 Eastern. It is double elimination, though, so if you lose today, it doesn't mean that your season is over. You still get a chance to play. In Canada, Ariel Prescott's got to feel good because her team just got her the lead. She can step back out into the circle with a 3-2 lead.
And she's doing really well for it. I mean, you think about the 5 strikeouts that she has through 2 innings. The thing that has gotten her into trouble is just a couple of wild pitches and a couple of walks. I'm going to throw a lot more pitches than probably she'd like because of the free passes. A couple of errors and 2 walks.
Czechia was able to score its 2 runs, both off of wild pitches. But 5 strikeouts on 10 batters faced today.
She throws strikes. She's looking really good.
This is Eva Hanslova, who hits in the 11 spot, and now it's 4 strikeouts in a row.
There's a lot of confidence coming from Prescott in the circle. Remember, they call her the sniper because just every pitch hits its target. That strikeout necklace, the pink, white, and black necklace that she wears for good luck, is working today. Good news. It transfers over from Canada to the United States. So that's good. Sometimes
great, yeah.
you don't know if that luck is going to transfer over when you travel.
I mean, the exchange rate could be totally different.
It's working today.
Eliška Kučarová. In Little League, they use a continuous batting order, so it's not 1 through 9, it's 1 through your team. She's in the 12th spot. This will be the bottom of the order for Czechia. So Kučarová will be retired.
5 strikeouts in a row. It looks like another drop ball. I could have sworn that the manager and the pitch caller, Eric Casteller, told us that she has a rising fastball, but today I think she has a dropping fastball with the way that these pitches are just falling off the table, and she's getting swings and misses on that. She is now have 7 strikeouts, 5 in a row.
Back to the top of the order, Teresa Friedlova. reached on an error in her first at bat. Had a couple of stolen bases. She looks up to Reese Atwood, plays at Texas. I think it's always cool when you see these international teams put U.S. college softball players as players they look up to.
And a lot of connections, too, with not only the college softball players, but family members, as Teresa following footsteps of her successful older sister as well. So many sisters who play. I feel like more than ever we've seen a lot of family ties to Little League into the game, whether it's a sister or even in the regional that I called in Waco, we had parents who had played in the Little League Softball World Series, quite a few on one team that had played here and won it. Just a lot of connections being passed down. See Dot Stelaire working hard back behind the plate, framing up some of these pitches. She's a player that talked about was here last year. She's probably their best hitter and a player that actually still plays baseball. She catches in baseball, also plays shortstop, and she pitches.
And most likely to be Instagram famous, according to her coaches. Look at Prescott work right now.
Striking out the side. Ariel Prescott has settled into this game quickly. And then she bolts off the field after these strikeouts, throwing strike after strike after strike, getting the chases. She is here to play.
Hey y'all, it's Sam Landry. Just wanted to wish y'all good luck, have fun, and keep it simple.
So cool. Some of these girls, a lot of these girls look up to Sam Landry among others.
We'll have a couple of pro games with the AUSL here Wednesday, August 6th. They'll play a doubleheader. You can find out more at littleleague.org/athletesunlimited. But they will actually be here, the pro players, and that's going to be presented by Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. It's always cool that they get to watch those games firsthand.
A lot of them, start to look forward to that. The boys at the Little League Baseball World Series had those MLB, or there's just one game, but had those MLB teams play one game there, and that was such a cool part of their experience at the Little League Baseball World Series that softball decided to do it with Athletes Unlimited. I think this is the third year that we've done it in a row now. I'm sure hanging out Tuesday here in Greenville, watching the games.
This is the bottom of the order for Canada. Elizabeth Lamarche getting her first at bat against Katarina Kosanova. Canada was able to take the lead in the last inning, scoring 3 runs after trailing 2-0. And second strikeout today for Kosanova.
Kushinova able to go up in the zone. You see her catcher is ready to get that pitch. It's a little bit more up and in on the hands. Great location. Go at the 12 hole.
Her coaches told us she is mentally tough as a rock. They said she's not a player, she's a robot with a soul and emotions.
Speaking of AUSL, that is her dream job, is to play AUSL, become a professional softball player. Which I just thought was the coolest answer, to see the impact of AUSL, which has only been around for 8 weeks now. The first game for the AUSL happened the day after the Women's College World Series ended, and it just caught on quickly. But she's from halfway around the world, seeing that her dream job is to play AUSL, which we just haven't seen as many of those answers before.
Mahika Larive, solid contact. She's got a hit. It's the top of the order. It's on for Canada.
Now Larive with some good hands at the plate. My goodness, this is a beautiful swing to the left side. Let that pitch get deep. Barreled it up hard. What a great swing by Mahike.
Brings us to Emi Chagnon. Canada grabbed the momentum in that last inning. And Amanda, you mentioned it, their dugout played a big part in that. Just so much energy there. Runner is going. Getting down, ball not there in time, and she's in a scoring position. Larive.
Love Larive's slide into second. You were taught when you go feet first is to throw your hands back and let your body fall back as well, and that's exactly what she did when she slid into second base. Just textbook. Look at her throw her hands back, just sits back, gets low into the bag. She's ready to steal that base and move into scoring position.
Two nice plays from her. The beautiful hit and then the slide to steal the base. It's an 0-2 count to Amy Chagnon. Her favorite celebrity, Adam Sandler. He's a funny guy.
Happy Gilmore 2 out?
It's out. I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't either? No.
Her favorite athlete is Aaron Judge. Strikeout number 3 for Kostanova.
Really finding a groove, throwing these pitches a little bit more up in the zone. You see where her catcher catches this. She's even out of her squat, anticipating a pitch that's more up in the zone, the high heat. And Chagnon swings underneath it.
See how she attacks Adele Dostelar, who got a hit off of her in the last inning. This one hard hit to Safrova at first. And did a nice job of composing herself in making the play. Canada still in the lead, 3-2.
Arielle Prescott for Canada looks up to Sam Landry. And I can tell you, Sam Landry would be so proud of this drop ball that Prescott is throwing in this game. We're so known for what we thought was a rising fastball, but these pitches are falling off the table. She's getting tons of swings and misses and chases down in the zone. And these last couple of innings, she is just painting corners. Gotten into some trouble in the second inning where she gave up 2 runs, but since then has struck out 6 in a row, including striking out the side in the third inning.
Let's go at number 10 for Team Canada, Arielle Prescott. 8 strikeouts on 13 batters faced today, 6 straight. And Arielle, her coaches told us, you know, she's tall, she's confident, she's so focused in the circle.
Really had just a big time growth year for this Canada team, and is a huge part of the reason why they're here. And you have to believe, like, she was probably so nervous to start her first Little League Softball World Series game. She was not one of the 3 returning players that was here last year, but a big part of their success this year of making it back-to-back years.
She told us in her questionnaire that she plays Little League to get her energy out, but also to play with friends.
Future plan, she wants to become a pediatrician. So not only does she have that great fastball, but clearly a caring heart underneath. She's pitching just some big time ace moments that she's already had in this tournament.
For this Czechia team, what kind of adjustments do you want to see as they go against Prescott?
Not chasing her drop ball as much down the zone. Make her throw strikes. We saw her walk 2 hitters in the first 2 innings, but has settled in, and the more that they chase, the more confidence it gives her to go even harder at them. It's a cool hairdo here with the sideways braids. You see that? Like kind of alternating side to side. I've not seen that hairdo on the softball field, and those fierce eyes. Love it.
Top of the 4th, leading off of your
Very cool.
Number 9, Emma Yelenkova.
It'll be the number 2 hitter, Emma Yelenkova, who struck out her first time up against Prescott. That was in the first inning. She will lead off the 4th inning for Czechia, who had a 2-run lead. Took that lead in the second inning before Canada responded with 3.
Czechia outscored their opponents 100-3 in their regional. At one point, they had outscored in pool play 95-0. 3 runs weren't scored off of them until the championship game whenever they defeated Italy in that 5-3 win. But this is a team that can score a lot of runs. They proved that in order to get here.
Just trying to settle in here and figure out Prescott. Hard hit ball. Jasleen at third. Love the play she just made.
And that ball got on her at third base in a hurry. Playing right against the line. But what impresses me the absolute most is the pick by Dion at first base. That is so hard to do. You want to make the out, you want to stretch, you know it's going to be close, but man, Dion was just fearless of that short hop, even with those long legs going down to get it. Great play by Estelle Dion at first base.
Dion at first today. She's also their #2 pitcher, but mostly they see her at first. She's their hype queen. Popped up in the air by Kosanova, the pitcher. And she's safely on.
Chanel kind of gave up on that ball. I think that she thought that LaMarche was a little bit closer. The fact that it was just in the air for so long, I think she thought her right fielder would have been closer to it, but miscommunication there between right field and second base.
So that puts the tying run on for Czechia with Daniela Pendlova at the plate. First pitch goes upstairs from Prescott.
With runners on base, this is where Prescott really needs to rely on her command. When runners got on base in the first and the second innings, there had a tendency to be some wild pitches. It can feel different whenever there's a runner on base when you're pitching compared to being in the circle, nobody on. You just struck out 3 in a row, 4 in a row. You're in a groove, but it feels different when there are runners on base because you're worried about them.
Here comes a wild pitch in from Prescott. And allows Kosanova over into scoring position.
And sometimes you can tell yourself when you're in the circle, okay, don't throw it over my catcher's head, because I know when I do that, the runner's going to be able to advance, versus when there's nobody on it. It really doesn't matter if you throw it over your catcher's head for that one pitch.
Pendlova got it on the end of her bat. Runner held at third, so the tying run is at third base.
They say about Pendlova that she is the heart of the team. Unbelievable swing here to go up and get that. How about a 3-0 green light, hitting it off the end of the bat, going oppo with it, just taking that pitch towards the left side. And now Czechia looking to respond here.
Can Prescott settle back in? 4 of her 8 strikeouts today have come with a runners in scoring position situation. Sophie Safarova. They make the tag at first. Runner going home. Tag applied, and the score holds, and Canada gets out of the inning.
Oh my goodness, Dion over at first base making all the plays. There was even a lack of communication. She touched one and it didn't seem like they were communicating that the runner was going, but she makes a perfect throw. Destalier was able to put on the tag and her cleat came off. Great defensive play by Canada, and a little bit of a base running mistake here. Right here. See the freeze and then not the immediately contact and go from the runner at third base to be able to make a better attempt to score that run. That was Kosanova, the pitcher, who just waited a little bit too long, and by the time that she waited, Canada was able to rebound and make that perfect throw home. If she would have just been going on contact, she would have been able to score easily, and they're actually going to be reviewing it. But funny thing is that Destalier's cleat came off with the slide in. She ran off the field with her left cleat in her hand. See when they review it what they see, in potential obstruction call, I would think, but you never know, Courtney. Sometimes you think you see obstruction.
I mean,
yeah, and see, she's blocking the leading edge of the bag before she has possession of the ball. So it's all about where that left foot is set up. So it looks like obstruction to me, but Czechia is running out into the field, and that's why you just don't know what.
Yeah, you don't
obstruction.
know. So obstruction in Little League, a fielder without the ball impeding progress of any runner. Can't block the baseline or home plate without the ball. So I guess they said that she had the ball when she was blocking it.
Or she wasn't impeding the runner. But either way, so impressed with the defense from Dion, picking the short hop at first base in that inning, making the perfect throw home to be able to essentially make the tag for Destalier at the back behind the plate.
Well, Estelle Dion, who made some great defensive plays, now she's going to grab her bat and lead off this inning. She's going to take it inside her head when she steps into the box. Great.
My favorite part about softball is the experiences that we live, like the World Series. When I go to bat, I think touch the ball and do your best.
Just do your best.
Yeah,
So many times but honestly, if you tell yourself just something positive, a short phrase, a word that you can think of to take your mind away from, I hope I don't strike out, or I hope I get a hit, or oh my gosh, I haven't gotten a hit in 3 at-bats or 10 at-bats or whatever it is, that positivity sends a jolt through the rest of your body and your brain to help you get a hit the next time.
So Estelle steps in against Katarina Kostanova, who has struck out 3 today.
She's the one that had the hard hit ground ball that ended up being a part of that walk-off win.
There's a hard hit ball for Estelle Dion. Shoots it up the middle, and she's on for the first time.
It's just so rewarding to see your hard work pay off. She was here last year, and she also pitches a little bit, but when we asked how she has grown, she's just more confident. Coach Eric said that she's fighting back more this year than she was. She played with the U15 team during the season, so she didn't get to pitch a lot in those games, played mostly first base, but I guarantee you playing with older girls has raised her level of competition to be able to make that pick at first base and have that swing right there.
Yeah, they said she sets the tone for this team and motivates everyone. Romy Trepanier up now with a runner on.
Production all throughout their lineup already in this game. 8 different hitters have reached base.
12 hitters in their lineup using the continuous batting order here in Little League. This is going to stay fair. Friedlova trying to go to second. And Dion's safe. The ball hopped away from Jelenkova trying to make the play. It is 2-on for Canada.
Well, and Friedlova knew exactly what she wanted to do with this ball. Look at her set her feet to angle them to make that throw to second base. It was just a little bit short, and we couldn't get a pick from Jelenkova, who is covering second base, so just a little bit low. But Friedlova knew exactly what she wanted to do with that. You could tell by the angle created with her feet.
Now here's Ariel Prescott, the pitcher, showing bunt. Hops up into foul territory. So a single and a fielder's choice to start this inning, have 2 aboard for Canada as they look to add to their lead. Remember, in Little League, only playing 6 innings, so this game goes pretty quickly. Friedlova's going to be tested again. Nose to touch third. Gets the force out.
I really like Friedlova's footwork over at third base. You can tell she is just so heads up. She knows exactly what she wants to do with the ball. As a defender, Court, it's so important to think, okay, runners at first and second, this many outs. If the ball comes to me, this is what I'm going to do with it. You're thinking a play ahead always, and you can tell that Friedlova is doing that.
Charlie Verville picked up an RBI last at bat. Was a part of that rally for Canada after they trailed 2-0 in this game. Got all 3 runs in the second inning. Kosanova ahead 0-2.
She's a writer at heart, Charlie is. She keeps notebooks full of stories. She's not playing softball.
Ball hops away from Darbanova. Both runners advance into scoring position. You know, we talked about Prescott having a lucky necklace. Well, Charlie also has to wear the same necklace and bracelet every game. A little superstitious.
Into the necklace wear, which you can wear, I think, for the first time in a while here at Little League. They changed that rule, so showing the bling off big.
It's a good news for those that have lucky necklaces they need to wear.
It's a nice swing by Verville there. This is a player who worked really hard to make the team this year. Secured that last spot on this all-star team.
Small player, coaches weren't sure about her, but then she worked hard, and here she is playing in the World Series. 1-2 count, 2 in scoring position. Runner coming home. Sliding between the pitcher's legs safely. Romy Trepanier is able to come home.
Yes, she is.
On the wild pitch.
Extending the lead to 2 runs. We've seen quite a few wild pitches in this game. I think more than the first couple of games that we saw played. Well played games first time.
It's a 2-2 count to Verville. Lines it right to Novotny. And they're able to turn 2 as they pick off the runner going back to third.
Didn't we just see this on the Canada side?
Yeah.
And now Czechia doing it too. A line drive, gets it out at third. Heads up defensive play, not heads up defense, base running.
Well, you're getting to watch 2 of the 12 teams that have made it to the Little League Softball World Series here in Greenville, North Carolina, the 5th year that we have played at Elm Street Park. And Canada in front right now of Czechia, 4-2. It's been a comeback so far for this Canada team, who was down 2-0 in the second inning. Now they've scored 4 unanswered runs. Czechia is going to start with their number 6 hitter, the shortstop, Aneta Novotná. And Ariel Prescott has struck out 8 today.
Well, how about the adjustments even after she struck out 6 in a row in the 4th inning by Czechia to put the ball in play against her? She gets a second strike there, but she had struck out 6 in a row, and then at 4th inning, Czechia was rallying, but it was the defense from Canada that was able to step up and help out Ariel Prescott.
She allowed 2 to get on in the 4th. Ooh, hard hit right back at her, and she immediately is holding her hand. Novotná does advance, but they're going to check on Ariel Prescott right now. And you saw Novotná, who hit the ball for Czechia, came over into the circle to also check on Prescott. Great sportsmanship. I can't imagine how scary it is, the ball coming right back at you, Amanda, in the circle. And this is a 40-foot pitching distance.
Yeah, it's really scary even when it doesn't hit you.
Yeah.
And then when it does hit you, it's just a a different level of scariness because you never think it's going to happen to you, and then when it does, it becomes even more jarring. And the issue is that it looks like they're, you know, working on her pitching hand, her fingers, her grip strength, her wrist, and just the importance of a pitcher of being able to feel the ball and grip it and spin it and whip it. So we'll see if she's able to carry on, but I feel like when I've gotten hit in my hand before, it makes it so much difficult to feel it like you're strong holding the ball to be able to actually deliver it.
So it looks like they're going to take her out of this game right now to check on her hand. So Ariel Prescott just had a solidly hit ball by Aneta Novotná. It just came right back at her. And so she's going to be attended to by the medical staff here at the World Series. And we're going to have a pitching change for Team Canada. Estelle Dion, who was at first base, is going to step into the circle.
It's a line drive hit right back at her, and she just throws up both of her hands in an attempt to protect her face. And Novotná, good sportsmanship shown, coming over to check on her after the team had rallied around her, and I'm sure just feels awful about what happened. Kind of looking at her thumb, it sounds like.
Your attention, please. New pitcher for Canada, number 17.
So Estelle Dion will step into the circle for Canada. And I mean, talk about having to be ready at a moment's notice. She was just playing over at first base, and now Prescott has had to be pulled for now. She could re-enter, of course, if she's cleared. But now she's got to get ready to pitch. And Alicia Dupont is back, is over at first base now.
As luck would have it, the two new defenders are going to get challenged right away. So we've seen Dion play great defense when she was playing first base. And Svobodova was called out. I wonder if there might challenge this. It was very close. She actually thought she was safe, so she didn't leave the bag. But I think that we might have a challenge here, which the challenge by the coach has to happen just before the next pitch happens. So as long as you ask for it, you have a chance to see.
And that look that we just saw, it looked like she was safe. By the way, Elizabeth LaMarche is the player that is over at first base now. Trepanier is out in right field, Romy Trepanier. And you saw for Team Czechia, too, they have their translator out there trying to talk to these umpires and tell them, you know, exactly what they want looked at.
I think this one is going to be overturned, and Czechia should have 2 on. This is just such a pivotal moment in this game right now with the score, where we're at in the game. Prescott having to exit the game and shifting around the defense, which gets tested right away immediately with the bunt.
And if this is overturned, then the tying run is at first base for Czechia. It is overturned. So Barbara Svobodova will be safe at first. Novotná is at second for Zofie Darbernova, the catcher. And it hit hitter in the box. She'll come back. Just the second batter that Estelle Dion has faced as she's had to come in the circle in this game. And they just called an illegal pitch. And that is a ball to the batter.
I just wish that we could get a quick explanation of what they're calling illegal pitch for, because it's a little bit more tricky with Little League, even as somebody who was a pitcher and an expert trying to figure it out. I think Jamie Sims, the third base umpire, is asking for the home plate umpire to go out and explain it, which is helpful. But remember the language barrier that is between the players and the umpires and the coaches as well.
So in Little League, you can't have both feet up off the air. Maybe she was outside of the pitching lane. You can't replant and push off a second time.
When she strides out, she is really striding toward first base. So there is no lane like you see in college, but that lane is there just as a marker for the width of the pitching rubber itself. There's some high heat right there from Dion, but that pitching lane just is the marker for the width of the pitching rubber. So even if that lane that you see in college wasn't there, you still have to stay within the width of the pitching rubber with where you land.
Darbanova, slow bouncer to Xiangyang at second. Makes the play, 2 in scoring position now.
Sorry, Corey, I just got so excited about what a productive out that was for Darbanova to get a pitch that is up at her eyes and still hit it down into the ground so that the runners could advance. Ground ball to the right side, advance both runners into scoring position, and now all of a sudden Czechia is one swing away from tying this thing up.
The tying run at second for Emma Nikodimova. If you're just tuning in, Ariel Prescott had struck out 8 in this game, but after one batter, she had a line drive right back at her. They had to remove her from the circle so her hand could be looked at, and Estelle Dion has taken over, who was playing at first base.
And Estelle Dion, we saw her just play a great first base. This is a player who was here last year, a returner. I'll tell you what, I just had a weird feeling when Dion entered this game in a good way that this is just her game and her time to shine. With the way that she's playing first base, she ripped a single her last time up, and now here she is pitching.
Look at her go!
When you're feeling it, you're feeling it. And Dion really has grown so much. Her coach said that she's so much more confident this season. Back-to-back years getting to play here in Greenville and letting her confidence shine in these biggest moments.
Veronika Shvetsova. 2 down, 2 on. And remember, Canada told us from last year they learned they had to step their pitching up. It wasn't just going to be one person. So they worked all year on pitching.
It's not an easy position to be in if you're Estelle Dion thinking, man, my pitcher Ariel Prescott, she's cruising. I'm probably not going to need to pitch today. She is just on it. And there are times too where she might, I don't know if she warmed up even. I mean, I would think she did. I would hope that she did as the number 2 pitcher on this team, but you just don't really know when you're going to have to go in.
Count runs 2-2 here.
Good swing by Svakova. This 4th and 5th inning, they've been swinging the bat better than what they were doing earlier in this game. Getting a little bit more on time, catching up to the speed of Prescott and Dion.
Yeah, their 2 runs have come via the wild pitch. That was in the 2nd inning. Oh, and a full count. This will be the 7th pitch to Svetsova. Estelle Dion called upon, and back-to-back strikeouts for Team Canada.
She's feeling it in every single aspect of the game. On defense, at the plate, and now she gets her chance to shine in the circle, and she works out of a jam.
Welcome back to the Little League Softball World Series presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Opening day of the 2025 Little League World Series. Our nightcap coming up, Connecticut and Pennsylvania. That'll be 7 Eastern here on ESPN+. The last of our 4 games on opening day. Courtney Lyle and Amanda Scarborough with you for this one, heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. Canada has just been impressive. They found themselves down 2-0, came back, have scored 4 straight. They've had to change pitchers due to an injury, and still just battling here. Eva Slane will be retired on the first pitch as it's hit back to Katarina Kosanova in the circle for Czechia. Here's Alicia Dupont.
Remember, Coach Stahler talked all about stress management that they felt in the regional tournament in order to win the championship game to get here. And also, he talked about just the process. When we asked him about the team motto, he said, process. It's a process. That is our team motto. And so being able to learn from the past, doing the little things right, staying present in the game.
Pop up here for Alicia Dupont and Emma Yelenkova underneath it to retire.
Staying present in the game to think about, okay, this is what's going wrong, but we have a chance to make an adjustment to change it. And just because it was one way, one inning, doesn't mean it has to stay that way through the rest of the innings. And I feel like that's what Canada has done so well, is just show that resilience and work the process that they've been working on for months to get to this point.
Emotional talking to us about just how hard that these girls have worked to come here last year, the same Little League team, get that experience, learn from it, and then just work all year to make it back. It is not easy at all.
Expectations and pressure, and once you get a taste of it, you want to come back. It's just like the Women's College World Series, how you feel as a college player, you feel that way as a Little League player. When you have a chance to get back, you want to do whatever it takes to get back, and they put in the work. Even for 6 months, they have to train indoors in a facility. That could be challenging to keep everybody engaged and having fun. It's kind of monotonous, right? But this is a coach who has challenged his team to be better and to never stop having fun, and to remind people that we're building something really cool here. Let's keep working and get back to it.
They don't get to play outside until the middle of May in Canada. Ball 3 coming in to Nelia Perez. Ball 4, a patient at bat for Nelia Perez, and she is on with 2 outs.
Now batting, number 3, Novi Trepanier.
It's the first walk that Kosanova has issued today. Oh, and Ariel Prescott back in the area, and you see she's got a wrap on her right hand, which is her pitching hand. Naomi Trepanier laying down the bunt, but that's going to be out number 3. So Canada will leave a runner on second. The Little League Softball World Series on ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. Well, we're going to the 6th inning here, and Canada is trying to pick up its first win in its last 14 Little League Softball World Series games. Their last win in this World Series came on August 11th of 2018 when they beat the Czech Republic 9-0. It's the 11, 12, and 1 hitters due up for Czechia as they try to come back here. Had a 2-0 lead, but Canada scored 4 unanswered, and Eva Hanslova will lead off here, facing Estelle Dion, who entered the circle in the last inning because Prescott was injured with the ball coming back and hitting her hand.
I just want to point out something very serious here, but it's the 2 colored cleats that are so in right now. And the entire infield has that going on, with the exception of one.
Second base?
Second base. Yeah, she does not. But this is a really big thing right now in our sport.
Yeah.
And Megan Framo did it for the AUSL Talents, so maybe it caught on there. Maybe Megan Framo caught on from somebody else. I'm not sure. What? But this is very in right now in our sport.
Dion has struck out 3 straight coming in relief in this game.
Now batting, number 10.
You'll want to see some girls with game. Tune in to yet another exciting summer of softball and visit littleleaguesoftball.org for great content, information about starting a softball league, and more.
I'm just so impressed with the way that Estelle Dion has been a girl with game in this game. I mean, my goodness. This kind of came out of nowhere, too. It was like halfway through the game, it was the Estelle Dion show just taking over this game. And even just the pressure she probably felt entering the circle after that line drive off of Prescott. My goodness, she has handled it beautifully.
Aleshka Kucherova. Caught! Alicia Dupont. 2 down.
You know, your heart starts beating fast. You're tracking it. You feel it hit your glove, almost pop out. And then you say, nope, got it. It stayed in my glove. I got the second out. I got it, guys.
Czechia down to its final out. Teresa Fridlova, top of the order.
Just painting corners here by Dion. How impressive this is. I just really, I can't get over it. This is such a difficult position. It's not like they were up 10-0 and she entered into this game and it's low pressure.
Hard hit ball to La Rive. And just out of reach of a stretching Lamarche, who had to slide over to first, remember, from right field when Dion had to go into the circle. So Czechia has a runner aboard. That'll be an ace. An error of the first baseman, Emma Jelenkova. Solar's going to try to get her going to second. Good throw, but Fridlova safe. So now a runner in scoring position.
And just throwing with good velocity coming into this game. These Czechia hitters have been behind her.
Nice piece of hitting, perfectly placed from Emma Jelenkova, and now the tying run at first.
Things are getting a little hairy here, especially with the top of the order coming up for Czechia.
There'll be a visit to the circle by Eric Dostlar.
On voulait rendre ça un petit peu intéressant, j'imagine. Excitant. OK. On est plus 2. First and third. C'est sûr qu'ils vont voler le 2. OK? On va lancer une benne au lanceur. Donc, tu vas te pencher, tu vas te relever au bon moment. Tu vas être sur le 3, tu vas checker ce qui se passe. D'après moi, elle ne bougera pas de là. OK? Il faut qu'on se concentre sur la fille au marque. C'est elle qu'il faut aller chercher. OK? Là, il faut qu'on exécute les jeux. OK? Prends le temps de pogner la balle. Relax. OK? Let's go. Hey, 1, 2. Hey, 1, 2. Let's go.
He said to them that knowing it's a first and third situation, that runner at first is likely going to try to take second, so they're going to steal, and does not want his daughter, who is the catcher, Adele Destalier, to throw down to second. Now it's just about protecting these runs and making the last out. He was guessing
not go.
Yeah, he was guessing they were going to steal, but he guessed wrong on that one. We'll see if maybe there was a missed sign. We'll see if maybe they go now. See how the defense is going to play that one.
Hard hit ball. It's dropped at third. Run comes across. Al was in time. Canada has its first win at the World Series since 2018.
Right.
And they could review this play.
Yeah.
And they will. They will take a look at this play. Slane at third, trying to make the toss over.
I think this one might get overturned again.
The call on the field was that she was out.
It's that slight bobble at third base by Celine that caused that play to be even closer than she would have liked at first base. Good stretch by LaMarche, but just, I think the foot gets there in time to be safe.
Yeah, right there you see.
And great base running by Jelenkova to go from first all the way to third on that player. At least that's where she's standing right now.
This would allow a run to score. They overturn the call. This game goes on.
Good hustle by Koshinova, the pitcher, to get down the line and even give herself a chance to make that close. She didn't feel sorry for herself. She got down the line and hustled. And actually, Jelenkova, who was standing at third base, fooled us during the review. She's going to be back at second.
Yeah, so the score right now, 4-3 here in the top of the sixth inning. There are runners on first and second. Koshinova at first right now via the error. A run scored.
Well, and I think she was asking for a courtesy runner, reminding her manager, hey, I'm the pitcher. There's 2 outs. You can put in maybe a faster runner for me, because it will be, I believe, Friedlova who will go and run for her. So reminding her manager, she was kind of doing the pitching motion like, hey, I'm the pitcher over here.
Yeah, in Little League, you can twice use a courtesy runner throughout the game for the pitcher or the catcher when there are 2 outs. And that runner is the person that recorded the last out.
Okay.
So Alishka Kusarova was the last out, so she comes out to run for Koshinova at first base. Tying run at second, go-ahead run at first for Daniela Pendlova,
who already has a hit in this game.
And for Canada, I mean, to feel that, just that moment, thinking that you've won this game and then have to come back out. pitcher and past the shortstop. The tying run is coming home, sliding in safely. Runner safe at third and second.
Second hit of the game for Penlova, who their coaches say is the greatest fighter I know. She is the heart of the team, and she comes through to tie up this game with 2 outs. Look at Czechia just fighting with 2 outs here in the last inning. When Canada thought they had it won, Czechia comes roaring back.
And Penlova has 2 of Czechia's 3 hits with runners in scoring position today. She is clutch. Sofia Safarova. Czechia can retake the lead. They have the go-ahead run at third. They led 2-0 in this ball game.
So close, just that slight bobble from the third baseman. Kochanova's ball put in play to the third baseman. That could have been Canada winning the game, but defense really making a difference in this one.
Sophie Safarova, you can tell she has stepped in on a mission here. All of this production for Czechia has come with 2 outs. Their first 2 batters of this inning were retired. Rolls off the end of the bat and scooped up by Elizabeth Lamarche for out number 3. But a tie game means that we are going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Can Canada walk it off? Can they make a little history? Well, Czechia was down to its final out, but they weren't done swinging the bat. Katarina Kosanova, the pitcher, was able to be safe at first. They reviewed this and overturned the call. Canada thought they had won the game, but here comes Czechia.
Yeah, that would go down as an E5, but then the hit by Penlova, the fighter on this team, ties up the game, and Czechia with 2 outs. They had gotten the first 2 hitters of that inning out, but all the damage was done by Czechia with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning.
So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Little League plays 6 innings. Of course, we go to extras if we're tied, but this tournament is double elimination, so nobody's going home today. But it has been beneficial to stay in the winners portion of these brackets. And Elizabeth Lamarche, who started the game in right field, moved over to first base, will lead off for Canada.
Another 1-run game between Brazil and North Carolina just before this game, and now here we are, another close game. This is getting serious Women's College World Series vibes with all the 1-run games, 2-run games, just the madness that was in Oklahoma City this past year rubbing off on the Little League World Series.
We did see a player slide between the catcher's legs. Well, I guess it was the pitcher in this game, but at the World Series it was stealing home. I thought almost hit her in the box. Ball 2 strikes from Katarina Kosanova to Lamarche.
Well, both of these teams in this game have just battled through a lot of errors that have occurred out on the field and trying to keep the score where it's at, find ways to make plays. We've seen some wild pitches. Both teams benefit from that. Not playing super clean on defense.
She's going to try to run this out, and she beats it. There was some hesitation by Darbernova to make the throwdown over to first on the drop third strike.
Yeah, I think she's saying that she caught it cleanly, so she's confused. I don't think that hit the ground at all. The umpire said that it did, but that's why she was so late on the throw, because she caught it super cleanly. So if that was a ball in the dirt for a third strike, then you do have the opportunity as the hitter to try to get to first base. But if you catch it cleanly, then you should be out. Maybe after the umpires get together, talk about it and say that, nope, she caught it cleanly. Good job of them coming together. Remember, they're all volunteers.
And so they do say that LaMarche is out. So I think that was caught cleanly. Top of the order, Larive, and throwing from her knees is Yelenkova at second.
Now batting at number 7, Emmy Chagnon.
Yeah, she knew she had to be quick too because Larive has such good speed. Great play to rebound after bobbling the ball, making the throw from the knees, and a good stretch by Safrova.
Emmy Chagnon swings at the first pitch. Looking for her first hit today. She's a big Aaron Judge fan. He knows a thing or two about hitting.
Got a little pop.
Little collision in the box. Kosanova going upstairs for her 5th strikeout, and we got some extra innings on opening day of the World Series.
Czechia is not going away after scoring 2 in the top of the 6th inning. Kosanova able to bring that energy to the circle. 3 up, 3 down. We're going to extras.
Top of the 7th inning. Yes, you heard that right. This Little League game is going extras. Czechia was able to tie it up in the top of the 6th. Canada couldn't respond, so here we go to extra innings. And that just means that maybe you got to eat a little bit more honey to keep you up, ready to go. Pennsylvania and Connecticut waiting in the wings, hydrating. They'll be our final game of opening day here at the World Series.
They have their team water bottles, Little League Softball World Series, team colored water bottles, looking good too.
So in extra innings, they will automatically start with a runner on second. And that'll be the person scheduled to bat last. So Sophie Safrova is at second with Aneta Novotná at the plate for Czechia.
We'll see how Czechia decides to play this. Oftentimes you'll see that first batter square around and attempt to advance the runner. They'll try to put down a bunt, so the corners are playing a little bit in, somewhat expecting it, but she's swinging away. No short game, no bunt here. Trying to drive in that run with as many opportunities that they have to swing away with that runner in scoring position.
Aneta has had a successful day here so far at the plate for her. Reached on a walk, scored on a wild pitch, also had a single in the 5th inning. Makes contact. Chagnon at second makes the play, but runner advances to third.
That'll work just as good as a bunt right there. Great piece of hitting by Novotná to be able to just hit that ball to the right side behind the runner at second base to advance her. And you have to be careful if you're Canada with the amount of wild pitches that we've seen get past the catcher. Most of those came with Prescott, but still it just seems to be one of the things that we're seeing with pitchers in this game.
So Moldova up now. Go ahead, run 60 feet away.
And with Svoboda being more of a slapper, the right fielder Trepanier is playing really shallow. Also a big shift with the center fielder of DuPont. and Trepanier, the sister, in left field.
Checks the runner and then makes the throw to first.
That's a big-time play right there by Asseline over at the hot corner. She has been tested today, has made a couple of errors, but with the game on the line, runner at third base, go-ahead run and extra, she makes the most perfect decision. She fields it, looks the runner back until she takes a couple of steps back toward third base and then makes the throw. And that was the big-time difference maker in that decision. You have to see that the runner is committed to going back to third base before you make the throw, and she made that play perfectly.
Zofia Darbernova, the catcher, is up. Swings right through that into the glove of a diving Alicia Dupont. That's a couple of big plays from her in center.
We were just showing the shift. She was just playing in left center field, but then they shifted her to right center, and it is right place, right time again for Dupont. Czechia threatens, but the defense steps up. Alicia Dupont, what a play.
Bottom of the 7th inning, another chance for Canada to walk it off. Just a stellar catch from Alicia Dupont in center field to keep Czechia from scoring. And a first pitch strike issued by Katarina Kotsanova. There's Dupont in the dugout. Canada looking for their first win at the World Series since 2018. Remember, in extra innings, we start with a runner on second base. Hard hit ball. Adeldo Solar is able to beat it out. She hit it right at Sophie Safrova.
She's been hitting the ball hard all game long. This is that Alicia Dupont catch out in center field that kept Czechia from scoring. So now the game-winning run is just 60 feet away. A huge position for Canada to be at with multiple chances to score now with a runner at third base and nobody out.
And how fitting, Estelle Dion, who has played first base well, she has pitched well, and now she is at the plate with the winning run at third.
Ball. Yeah, if I was Czechia right now, I wouldn't be making these extra throws. If that runner wants to go to second base, that run means absolutely nothing. The only runner that matters right now is that runner at third base. Everything you do should be focused on not letting her advance 60 feet.
Yeah, Emmy Chagnon is at third base. Gotta be careful here. Darbernova behind the plate. And remember, with the pitching rules for Little League, because Kosanova, this is her 7th inning pitch, she will need a day off. So if they win, she cannot pitch tomorrow. Winner of this game will face Japan tomorrow at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. The loser will play on Tuesday.
It was a tricky decision for these managers with extra innings.
Estelle Dion with a good eye here. I think the count, yeah, 2-2 count.
Dion had that walk-off hit in the championship in Alberta. She's been playing a mean first base in this game. Had her teammates back in the circle after she went down with an injury and just entered in and has been nails.
Struck out 3 batters in this game. Now battling at the plate.
And imagine the nerves that her parents have had all throughout this game. You know, it's nervous. You're nervous already entering into the game. She's been an instrumental part.
This will be the 7th pitch that she's seen, the winning run at third. It drops. Here comes the run. Team Canada does it. Canada has its first win at the Little League Softball World Series since 2018, and they do it in extra innings.
Back and forth game.
And they thought they had won it in the top of the 6th inning, but a replay review overturned the call and sent us to the bottom of the 6th and then eventually extras.
Yeah, that's why you see the emotion from Czechia. That was a really hard-fought game. They gave themselves a chance to win. They fought until the end. I mean, they're fighting the top of the 6th inning with 2 outs when they ended up scoring those 2 runs to tie it, to push it to extras was just epic. But Estelle Dion had a heck of a game. My goodness. Remember, it was the ball off of her bat that even got them here to the Little League Softball World Series. In Alberta in the championship, she was the one that scored the push across the run with the ball off of her bat. Here she does it again. Estelle Dion with the walk-off single and RBI after entering this game. Big hop on the plate. Don't miss home. Go back. Make sure you touch it. Yep, very important. It's a big time win. Canada has not won here in several appearances. It's been 14 games since they've won.
Now, they hadn't won a game here in their last 4 appearances, but they are in the winners portion of the bracket. We'll see them play Japan tomorrow at 7 Eastern. We'll see Czechia again on Tuesday.